Hello there, this is kcStranger here to say, oops, I did it again. And by that I mean messed up the audio for a good chunk of the last episode. I did catch my mistake partway through, but unfortunately still need to take a little bit of time and walk through what happened while the player's audio was missing. So, we started the session picking up where we left off last time with the party emerging from Imra's little safe carrying cube into a hallway in the Nine Hells, tastefully decorated with the mandatory obsidian but also orange trimmings. And started by showing the party his factory floor, basically. Um, Essentially, he had a large floor laid out with various souls, or spirits really, that he's collected, torturing them in various ways. And Colleen and Quizmiligus almost caught on. He had to explain it to them just a little bit. But the rhythm and layout of all the various torture that was going on actually turned into a sort of magical dynamo, reinforcing the concept of pain even on a metaphysical level. And he channeled it to increase his own strength. He also did point out that there was an area at the back where the spirits, when they weren't being tortured, could, talk to each other and enjoy some refreshment, that sort of thing. So, he's evil, but he's not a monster. Um, Anyways, after this, he took the party to the end of the hall. They went through a large set of double doors into his personal chamber. This, again, tastefully decorated with sort of a charcoal gray and a blood red theme. Um, Sort of imposing looking, but actually very comfortable. He sat the party around a fire, gave them tea and cookies, and started talking about his hobbies. That being the deal that Colleen had made, uh, sort of long rest on the cheap in exchange for listening to a socially starved pit fiend talk about his hobbies. And we do have my audio from the session, so just to give a little taste of that, I'm going to go ahead and play a snippet where Imra tells the party about how he created the potions that they've been using to hop back and forth in time in the vault that they're in. And now, Imra says, you'll no doubt want to hear about how I came up with those potions you've been using. Well, Fowlin visited me some time ago and saw my recipe book. He holds it up and then sort of sets it on the table. And he left me this herb. Said he thought I might find it interesting. Well, and then he sits down and starts to wave his hand in sort of like a teachy manner. Step one was to track down where it came from. That part is a little boring. Suffice to say, I got a steady supply. Then I needed to explore its properties. I used a few of my test subjects on the material plane, don't ask, and it seemed for all the world like some sort of hallucinogen. But then I realized that the hallucinations were oddly coherent. Few of the subjects dropped details about the past that I couldn't imagine how they would know. And that's when it hit me. The trick was the right combination of solvents, congeners, and additives to maximize efficacy, control, and taste. I wound up settling on a base of anise liqueur with a touch of lavender, but with a low alcohol content to establish just the right amount of pliability in the subject without hindering function. The smallest sprinkle of earth from a target location bound it to the spot, a custom blend of steramides and surfactants to facilitate absorption into a variety of tissues, a long treatment over low heat to minimize dissolved gases, and a few magical additives, including powdered dragon claw and modron shavings for precision, and I had the base of it. It was altogether too thin and bitter, though, so a bit of cream and brown sugar was needed to round it out. What I had at this point was a reasonable tasting drink that could, shall we say, free one's mind, but I was looking for a bit more. The key was to take what I'd developed as a base and work it in two opposite directions.
To one, I worked in a bit of processed extract from a black pudding, spent charcoal from the Nine Hells, squid ink, a bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, then rebalanced the rest to get the taste back to true. To the other, I processed with a second round of distillation, added ground manticore tooth and a touch of marshmallow. I now had a linked pair of potions that would do the trick. They still tasted a bit dreadful, of course, and it took quite a lot of playing with timings and temperatures, a mix of just the right set of spices and a bit more cane sugar to get it just right. But, and Imra finishes with a smile, I think the result speaks for itself. And he makes sort of a theatrical, expectant sort of motion as he comes to the end of this.
All right, so picking back up, Imra, of course, did. Well, there was a bit of a discussion after that where Fowlin sort of pretended like he knew more than I think he does about that sort of potion making. Started suggesting various ingredients to Imra and alternate approaches. I think tried to get him to use tiefling teeth in his next iteration. So that was some fun. And actually, out of that discussion, Imra decided to give Fowlin half of the prototype for the 2 potions that he gave the party for the dungeon. So Fowlin has that now. After that, Imra continued to talk about his various other pursuits. He moved on to baking, interior decorating, politicking, torture, just the things a pit fiend does. Eventually, the party sort of fell into sleep with the single thought on their minds, man, this guy doesn't get out much. They woke up, had a fairly pleasant breakfast. Believe Imra made biscuits and gravy, omelets, sort of a spiced punch. All very good, just a little off looking. Kane was skeptical of it at first, which given his past experience, you can imagine why that might be the case. But Imra assured him that no sentient beings had been harmed in the making of his breakfast, and he did indeed eat. After that, there was a bit of bartering. Fowlin started by trying to get his hands on some magical items, turned out to be a bit out of his price range, but they did ultimately get some potions, a number of healing potions, and also a potion of growth and a potion of diminution. Did get those somewhat on the cheap, as it turns out Imra makes them himself, and gave them a bit of a good deal. And after that, they pretty much went back to the vault and kept exploring towards their ultimate task of finding this door and destroying the 13 seals on it. They continued down a hallway that previously had been blocked by the infernal magic, and after defeating Imra, the way opened. Still in the present, as far as time period goes, Kane decided to make a shadow clone in order to scout ahead of them. And there was some discussion about what to name it. My token for Kane shadow clones is a sort of a grayed out version of Kane's old art, so they decided to call it Grain. Yeah, get it? Gray Kane? Okay, anyways. Moving ahead, the next few rooms that they discovered were a small entry chamber with a mirror, again, curiously non-magical, a couple tables. One of them held a rack of wine bottles, which did turn out to be magical, had transmutation magic on them, although they did not wind up experimenting with those. There was also a large open chamber, sort of like a great hall, if you will. I mean, it's fairly large, actually. That simply had a green carpet that led up to a pedestal. The pedestal had necromancy on it. And as the party all approached it, the several ghosts appeared, which the party realized after some small amount of interaction to be the spirits of the Dragonborn who they had been manipulating. So There are 3 male, 1 female. The leader appears to be dressed in dark leathers with daggers at his side. There's another the female is dressed in sort of typical wizard's garb. Um, there's another one who's dressed in oddly more fashionable clothing. And then finally one dressed in fairly utilitarian sort of gear for a more typical soldier or explorer. And so we pick up as I realize my mistake and enable my player's audio.
Yeah, I have
You
it
should-
enabled. It just desyncs sometimes.
You should voice over it and then pretend you're us.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is a part. I want to buy something, but I ain't got no money. Just make fun of me and.
Right. Okay. Well,
Oh, dead people. My name's Clean.
I enabled it now.
That's
So
not what I sound like.
okay. So let's go back to where we were. So I said my thing, and then what was the last thing you said?
So I only hear when you talk. I said something about live and learn, but like die and learn.
Right.
I don't know if there was anything after that.
Right. Yes. Well, she looks at you and says, "We've been here so long." And then the one to the leader's right, this is the sort of more finely dressed one, says, "Perhaps you could free us."
Yeah, no, that's the plan.
So, do you want to be like free and dead, or do you want to be like alive, but maybe remember dying a lot?
The female one says, all right, she's the wizard, or wizard looking anyway. Somehow, I think that will happen in any case. She looks at you and says, "Spirits don't seem to leave this place, but perhaps we could help you."
Well, see, the plan is that once we finish our mission here, we were going to make sure that you guys didn't die here.
Maybe.
The leader.
Kane's been hinting at this and no one said anything, so I'm going for it.
I feel like it's been Kane pushing us to use the guinea pig people the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
The leader kind of frowns and
Like no one said give any hints and be like, hey man, shh, calm down about this.
Are you kidding? Colleen was all over.
he
No, I mean in this moment. They're like where you guys were like, don't mention that what we've done to them.
Kane, the one in front, steps off the pedestal and starts walking slowly towards you.
I'm gonna keep a healthy current distance from it.
Where's Grain?
So
Grain's at the stairway.
He is currently just about here. Do you want to maintain that amount of distance, or are you okay with him getting a bit closer?
I don't want him getting closer than 30 feet.
How did you somehow just divulge that they were guinea pigs and I didn't catch that?
I don't think he did.
Okay, so this is
Can I insight check to see if he looks aggressive at me? I don't like him walking towards me.
Yeah, sure. You can give me insight.
Haha, 16.
Right. He's not like raising his arms or making any kind of threatening gestures. He appears to be just sort of placidly walking towards you, so you're kind of not sure.
Okay, yeah, what's he doing there, buddy? No, I'm not really the undead person. It's more Colleen. So just stop getting closer to me.
He stops. Colleen, he's now just about 5 feet away from you. He turns and looks at you, Colleen, and says, "Would you explain to your companion that our stay here has not been pleasant, and we wish only to be free of this place?"
Yeah, no, we're totally down to free you guys.
We will, Kane.
That's not a sentence. We will cave. What does that even mean?
Glaring at you mid sentence. Like a hush, Kane.
Oh, I see.
um,
Kate obliges.
we'll certainly be able to assist you with your request, and hopefully we'll be able to ease your suffering. Um, is there anything that you require along that line? What would
Nothing,
put your soul at rest?
nothing at all is required. And at that, the other three also step out on the pedestal and sort of array behind Menakun. And he
Fallon
says,
said, "Oh, go ahead."
and he says, "We wish to help you."
Yeah, about that. What's the help you're suggesting?
He looks at you and says, "Our state can have certain advantages. He, perhaps we might be useful to you on the path ahead."
Ah, sounds good. All right, let's get going.
So, like, you're saying you could, like, scout ahead for us, maybe? Trigger any traps and things?
He looks at you and says, "You seem much more eager to welcome us now."
Fallon wants to insight check them to see if they're trustworthy.
Hey, man, I'm just uncomfortable in general, but, like I said, a healthy distance is maintained.
Okay,
And I'm
So I gaze into their souls, but like
right.
literally.
really, really do it, because we could see them anyway. But now it's like,
Yeah. The expression on their faces is, if you will, a placid sort of pain. You actually even see um, a sort of shimmering in the leader's eyes, and you recognize that, at least you think it's actually restrained tears. You think they're genuine.
yeah. So I saw this one episode of Tales from the Dark Side one time, where this like lady or archaeologist goes and finds where her dad had done archaeology, and he's stuck in this cave with some dead Indians, and he tricks her into taking his place, and that's the only way he can escape the forever torment. That's what I'm worried about. They don't have to trap us here to escape, right? Am I picking up any of them vibes?
You are not. Let me see here. If you want to try to reason through the situation, um,
I guess I could just ask them too, but
yeah, sure, you could.
so after you help us, how do we help you get out of this place?
The leader looks at the wizard, this would be Tarina, um, and she says, "Our hope is that once this place has served its purpose, the metaphorical gates might be opened." We imagine that you are here to address whatever the purpose of this place is.
That's right, Trina. That's right.
Then we will help you.
I am the one called Trina. All right, so let's keep going. We're all well rested and ready to move, so us living people. All right, let's go.
Okay.
I just realized I could have massively screwed up that situation,
Oh.
depending on how the ghosts think. When I snapped at Kane, I'm the only one who introduced myself, but Kane signed his name on the note that he left.
Oh.
They might have an opinion about that.
There was a part of me that wanted this to blow up in her face so much. Like,
Oh.
Alright, so y'all are spreading out quite a bit.
are we? Oh, they.
Y'all, come on. Hurry up.
We also have that token of Imra. We could go to the past and hope that he doesn't kill them, but we don't know if they'll get any further.
I mean, we can just write another note telling them to just leave.
Yeah, just get the hell out of here.
Just
So-
fucking don't stop.
Alright, so Colleen, you being the last
Leave
one
it.
to leave the room, they're sort of trailing behind you, actually. So just you have 4 Dragonborn ghosts in tow.
I'm cool with that.
Actually, I want to go up to Fallon. I walk up to Fallon and say, Psst, before the ghosts get here, Psst, Fallon, Fallon.
What?
Hey, you think you could tell Emra to not kill the ghosts in the past?
I don't think it was him, Kane.
Are there any other pit fiends in this dungeon that you know about?
I mean, they've already died like, what, 13, 14 times?
I know, but if you tell them not to kill them, and then we tell them about all the traps and disable all the traps, they won't die. The whole point was at the end of this that they won't die.
At this point, the
Otherwise,
Colleen and the
I was
ghosts
just a
come
terrible
floating up
person.
behind you.
Yes, right, Kane. This does look like interesting architecture in the walls. You're right.
Yes, it's very stony.
Cyclopean, some would say. Cyclopean. Whatever. I'm not
Yes, fallopian architecture.
Oh, God. All right.
I have to decide if Colleen would be curious of your curiosity or if she would think you're up to something. And if it was Fallon, she'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, the architecture's nice. But because Kane's like, oh, yes, I'm like,
There's a door over here, but Trina, do you know
Oh, there's another door? Oh,
on
sorry.
the side of this door over here?
The Dragonborn come floating up behind you, and you watch as Tarina floats through the door. A long moment passes, and then she floats back through the door. Yes.
Yes. What'd you see?
A large open room and a bookshelf, a table, walls, a light, the ground.
So just like out of character real quick, I just find it hilarious that in life they serve as guinea pigs, and now in death they're just now shooting a guinea pig.
Kane, can your wind clown open the door? Can Grain?
Grain, open the door.
Grain turns the handle on the door and opens it.
Oh, that's different. What is that?
On the floor.
Yeah.
It You can barely see it, actually. I kind of represented it by making it faded. But there's a 7-point star, pointed star, lightly etched into the ground. Quizmiligus and
That's
Kane,
in it.
you both recognize. Actually, wait a minute. I wrote that in my notes, but I don't think that's actually correct. Let me see here. It would
You're saying
actually.
the DM is wrong?
It would act well. I specified the kind of magic, but I think it would actually be something different than what I wrote. So let me. I think it's actually transmutation. Yeah, I'm gonna say transmutation.
I grab Fallon's arm and tell him not to step there.
Well, I was did an Arcana check too. I just hadn't heard if I. With my mystical
Oh wait,
eyes.
you know what? No, actually, abjuration is what it would be.
Pay
I
no
tell him
mind
it's
to my critical
abjuration.
failure.
What was that for? The star?
Yeah.
You know, it's a magical doohickey. You're really tired. Probably has something to do with
It's abjuration.
like fire or maybe like making fruit or something.
I rolled a 17.
Oh, yeah. It's clearly meant to channel magic of some kind, and it's clearly inactive at the moment.
Fellas, this is magical rug.
It's a very nice rug, Fallon.
Anything else in here, Casey? Noteworthy? Like, I'm
Well,
gonna go
you
down
see
and search through stuff.
you see a bookshelf and a table. If anyone wants to generically try to notice things, you can give me perception, or if there's a specific thing that you want to look through.
I want to look through the. You said it's a table or a desk?
Well, there's a table with 4 chairs and a bookshelf.
Oh, bookshelf. I look through the bookshelf.
Oh, interesting, Fallon. 22 perception. All right, let me see here.
I perceive.
I perceive. I can fly.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot to work it out.
I also want to look through the bookcase.
Okay, so on that, you mostly just see what everybody else sees, but you do also notice in this corner of the room, specifically this wall right here, the stonework around most of the wall has a pretty regular pattern, like it's sort of blocks, just laid in a fairly standard array, like you array bricks or something like that. But you notice that they're a bit sort of bulged outward in that particular corner.
I think there's like a secret door or something. What do I do to mess with it?
I can't hear you. I'm looking through the bookshelf.
I mean, if you can give investigation to look at it even further. Oh, by the way, Colleen, the
Damn
room is swimming. Your mind is blank. This is all rather overwhelming for you. Yeah, Fallon, you sort of like run your hands over it. You like knock on it. You try like pushing and pulling at various things. Nothing really does anything.
Quiz. Come look at this wall.
But what about the bookshelf, Casey?
Were you investigating the bookshelf? You can give me investigation
Yes.
for that.
Come look over here at this wall.
Oh shit! Kane just crit success in
That's
investigation.
8.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. But Kane, even on an 8, as you look through, there are let me see here. There are books on magic. A few you see seem to have some kind of like history in them, and then like there's actually some that appear to be just sort of stories. But, you lose interest in most of them pretty quickly.
Colleen, I found some magic books for you and some nerd books.
Some magic books, you say? Wow.
Anyone else doing things?
I asked Quiz to look at the wall.
I'm looking at it.
Do you want to investigate it or just look at it?
These stones is weird.
And I guess investigate it.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick the stones.
Then roll investigation. Kane, you kick the stones. Oh, shit. Okay.
A lot of crits today.
So
I've only failed.
Still a crit?
Kritos Locos Tacos.
So actually, and come to think of it, you would have noticed this already. There is magic on the stonework here. As you investigate it and sort of attend to it more closely, in your mind, it starts to take the form of something like a lock. You think that there's actually some kind of code for getting through whatever, like clearly a secret door. But you can see the magic on it. You can see it's almost like a combination lock, but you don't know what the combination is or how to activate it.
8008.
It's a lock.
What kind of lock?
Combination lock.
Open sesame.
Well done. Well done.
On a crit success, I will even give you, you sort of start messing with it. Fallon said his thing, it didn't really do much. You start, you reach up and just sort of wrap your hand on the wall, and you see the magic sort of start to ripple as you do that. You can't really make anything of it, but you think there's probably just some sort of patterned knocking on the wall that will open it up.
Hey, Ghosty Boys. Any idea what the passcode is?
You don't know there's a passcode yet, Kane.
But I see the magic too, right?
Quiz was the one who worked all this out. You can see the magic on the wall. That's it.
Does Quiz share his findings with us?
I said it's a combination lock.
Hey, Ghosty Boys, you know what the combination is?
Menakun turns and sort of spins in there and looks at you and says, combination?
Quiz, put combination. No one appreciates my comedic genius.
So Fallon says, how do we figure out the combo, Quiz?
I don't know. I just know it's a combo. It seems to be one that's triggered when you knock on it in a certain way.
Have there been any patterns or any repeating patterns you've seen in this dungeon so
far?
Wait, I'm gonna knock 7 times.
Okay, you walk up, you knock 7 times. Your knuckles vaguely hurt.
Fallon says, knocks and says, jam and a biscuit. Yum, yum.
Somewhere far away, someone laughs.
Damn it. Let's keep going. I guess, did we look at the books?
Kane
yeah.
did. Nobody else did. You can investigate the books if you want.
You didn't look at the books, Colleen? I told you I found these magic
We
books.
haven't got there yet. You guys have been dealing with the stuff.
Yeah, you look through, you find pretty much what Kane saw. There's some books on magic, some books on history, and then like a bunch of stories. Like actually most of the books there are fiction, it seems. You don't notice anything particularly interesting about it.
Oh, hey, what are the titles of these books?
The titles?
Yeah,
Um
any numbers
uh
patterns?
you can give me investigation if you want to try to read over the titles and figure something out about the code.
Yeah, I'll see if like the arrangement of the books or something.
Has anyone looked at this table?
Kane did.
Nobody has investigated it, but there doesn't appear to be much about it. No magic on it. It's pretty much just a table. I know there's some stuff on it, but like, full disclosure, that's just because that's the best token I could find on Roll20.
Holy shit, guys. What are we doing?
What's on the table?
Okay, so
You'll know there are like other
Kane,
numbers. between
on
20
your 0 crit fail, you do not find any sort of pattern in the book titles, but you're convinced that's where it is. Fallon,
Yeah, I was gonna keep staring.
Fallon,
Yeah.
it is a actually like slightly rough looking wooden table. There is nothing remarkable about it. There are some chairs, there are some boards. It's mostly even on the top. Like one of the side pieces is sort of starting to fall down.
Fallon says, who the hell made this table?
And as you ask that question on your crit success, an image pops through your mind of a very sort of harried-looking, sleep-deprived older dwarf who's been, they're wringing the last little bit of labor out of him. And you have no way of knowing that that's actually who made this, but that's the image that comes to mind.
Are we done here?
I mean, Kane's just like, it's gotta be these books.
I'm overwhelmed.
Passwords here somewhere.
I see nothing. I know nothing.
I already tried to investigate them. The 6. Can I do it again, or does that?
How many
No.
books are there, Casey?
No. Okay.
I'm gonna knock the number of times there are books.
Quiz. Did you look at them books?
They're books. Some are magical.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay. Cool.
Did you investigate the bookshelf?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
I mean, I have my detect magic on, so I can see they're magical.
Right.
Some
Go
of them,
look at the
right?
books. Find your code to your combo lock. Quit being lazy. Fallon says, "Fine, let's go."
Can I give the books a try, Casey?
Yeah, sure. Roll investigation.
I feel like I should give it a support or a shot, but someone might have to lead me to the books physically.
Nope. They're books.
You find
They're
pretty much
magical.
what everybody else found.
Yep, they're magical books.
Hey,
Real
look at
neat.
that.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So Colleen has been kind of out of it, but she sort of watches you all like flailing, walking back and forth. Kane, like over at the wall, just like knocking on it, losing count, and then like starting to knock again. And then finally says, "Okay, I should just give this a try." So Colleen, you wander over, you start pulling out books, and you notice a few things. First of all, in one of the books on magic, you find information on warding, and actually you flip through it a little bit, and you see the exact drawing of the sigils that were blocking some of the hallways that you were in. And you sort of start to piece together, oh, some of these books are probably actually describing magics used in the construction of this place. You look through some of the histories. It actually appears to be pretty dry stuff. Definitely of interest to a scholar. It seems to record some very old civilizations, but as you glimpse through it, nothing particularly useful seeming to you. The stories are interesting. As you read through them, you realize that they're all sort of fall into the category of cautionary tales. So somebody, you know, finding a ritual in an old tome and enacting it out of curiosity and releasing a leviathan from the deep. Somebody exploring, looking for treasure and releasing fire demons, that sort of thing. As you glance through the last of these, you sort of give it a final flip through, and a scrap of paper slowly falls to the ground. Out of curiosity, you reach down and pick it up, and it reads as follows. Corner opposite the bookshelf, knock once, then 3 times, then 4 times, then once.
Fallon, any idea what this note means?
Uh, you're handing me the note.
Yeah.
I look at the note and I say, yep, still my favorite, Clean.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Fallon.
Uh,
I have no idea what I just did.
knock in the pattern described on the note. I think it was 1-3-4-3. Am I making that up?
1-3-4-1.
1-3-4-1.
And as you do, there's sort of a grinding sound, and a line appears in the middle of this little section of wall that you're standing in front of, and actually the entire wall that you're looking at sort of slides to the left, and actually you hear a little bit further away the same thing appears to be happening somewhere else, and a little way is going to open. So the wall is still on the map, but this is now traversable.
Cool.
It's open.
Doors open. All clones go first. Uh-oh.
Sorry. Yes, let's go, clone.
Come on, Grain. Get it in gear, Grain. Because we know what that means. I still can't get over how crappy that table is.
What are
They're statues.
of?
Small dragons.
Ah,
Interestingly,
any magic?
you don't see magic about them.
Can I investigate them? Just look. Figure them
Yeah,
out?
sure.
What
Can
you see? That big thing is like, I see there's the white border, but like it's mostly black. Is that supposed to be a wall?
okay, I'll try and figure that out in a moment. So Fallon, on your investigation, they're much more nicely made than that table. appear to be out of, obsidian or something like it.
That's the edge of my vision. That line is true.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't be able to see past that.
I do see there's something there though. I see a wing.
I mean, my dynamic lighting looks right, so I don't know what the problem is.
Don't either. I mean, where you are, there's definitely something. There's a
It's
really
just weird 'cause I can see like the edge of it. What looks like a giant.
Hold on. Do you see the thing next to you? The grain, anyway.
Yes, I do see the big gray dragon statue thing. There's a thing to my right. It's a big token.
Is the
Right.
rest of our party still in the room, just chilling out? Ah, damn it! It moved.
Statue
Oh
moved.
no, I was just testing stuff. Don't worry about that.
Nice.
For some reason, that reminded me of the Monty Python thing. Like the girl with like the stop motion or whatever, because you're
Yeah,
the animator.
Kane, I really don't know. The only thing that I can think you're seeing is that maybe at some point I like dropped your token in a spot that you like shouldn't be able to see, so you're like seeing part of it, but I'm really not sure.
So, okay, to my immediate right, like 2 tiles to my right,
Yeah,
should I be seeing?
Where I am?
gray floor.
Yes. Okay, I don't see gray floor. I see what looks like and maybe I'm spoiling? I don't know. Like,
I mean, I don't see anything there.
okay, so they're like surprise giant gargantuan dragon.
Why don't you screen cap it or you snipping tool it and post it in the Discord?
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell you're seeing.
That's a great idea. Instead of trying to describe with my vocabulary.
Trying to do.
With my vocabulary.
Shut up.
That was the funniest line all night. Instead of trying to
Did
describe
Casey
with my
record it?
vocabulary. Screen cap.
And?
Over.
Oh,
Yeah, what is that, Casey?
I think it's actually like it must have like so it's the same dragon statue that you're looking at, but it's like an old version of the image that like I deleted from the page, and I don't know why you're seeing it.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that I'm not like going crazy.
Yeah, so like wait, so Kane is like all the way back in the other room still. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try removing your clone and re-adding it and see if that fixes it.
Okay. Goodbye, Grain.
Should make it brown, so we just call him Brown.
Brain. He'd be brain.
Balloon.
All right. Does it still look like that?
Yep, but this is now Kane, but with a K.
That is really awkward. I imagine you might just need to restart Roll20 or something.
It's fine for now. It's just a wall. It's just a wall.
That's really weird. Like, cause like the page looked like that at some point, but I totally deleted it.
That is weird.
Are these doors?
Okay, so that is a portcullis, so which is currently basically like like they're not bars or anything. It's just like kind of like a closed gate.
Can I investigate these statues?
Which ones?
The
Where are you
painters?
at? Yeah, sure. Roll investigation.
They seem sketchy.
Fallon, I noticed. Oh wait, no. Was that your old roll?
I did Arcana for
Okay.
the dragon and Investigation for the big dragon. Both for the
What
big
is up
dragon.
with Roll20?
Okay, so
This is like the 3rd crit I've had tonight.
yeah, so Kane, you are
4th crit I've had tonight.
You're kind of disturbed by these dragon statues. You're afraid they might like attack you or breathe fire or like remind you of bizarre fantasies you've had that you'd rather forget, that kind of thing. Fowlin, Arcana on the statue. It is certainly curious. Your spidey sense is kind of going off on it, but beyond that, you're not sure. As for the investigation check, it's very detailed.
Hey, I found an empty room.
Where are you?
Well, Grain went to this door that Quiz is next to, and found a big empty room. Any magic in here, Casey?
Um, yeah, actually, and you know what? I should mention this too. At a few, in that small room with the dragon statues, both Kane and Quiz would have noticed it. Just sort of a spot on the ground with abjuration magic about it. And also in that small room, you would notice a few similar just sort of spots on the ground like that. And Quiz, as you go down this little hallway, sort of at either end of it, you see the same. Just little auras, if you will. Not quite sure what to make of it.
Don't step here.
Okay, that's just a thin piece of wall. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The gate's locked up here.
Yes. Or it's shut. There's not a visible lock.
Is it openable?
Perception? You do not see a visible mechanism. And I mean, it seems pretty sturdy. Lots of stuff in this dungeon appears to be magically sealed, but you don't know till you try.
Is this a door over here in the corner?
Indeed, it is.
Hey, Casey.
What's up?
Can I roll some kind of history check to see if this dragon's of any significance?
Let me think. Would that be this check? Yeah. Yep, you can do that.
Also, Grain would like to investigate these dead ends and see if there's any magic along them or if there's any hidden passage.
Okay, on a 24, maybe. So this is obviously a pretty significant place. So it's like total speculation. But this dragon is of a size that only an ancient dragon would reach. So whatever it's a statue of could be a dragon of some pretty large significance. Your mind goes to Tavrith. He's sort of a creature like this, actually, like associated with a number of stories, had quite some history. Actually, you've met Tavrith though. Had quite some history before he sort of holed up in Einon grew. Also, looking over it, based on the color, could be a depiction of a white dragon, although they're normally much more feral than this one looks. You think it's actually a silver dragon. And let me see. Yeah, you wouldn't have the information for that. So you, best guess, this is a statue of some silver dragon of great significance, but you wouldn't necessarily have the information to know a whole lot more than that.
I relay that to the room.
As he does, Fowlin, I think you would actually have potentially some relevant information. Let me double check. right. You actually just give me intelligence real quick. A check, not a save. So congratulations, you get to reroll.
Yep. Due to my high intelligence.
Okay. You are reminded a while back you got a bunch of tales of the Yuan Ti.
Yes.
And at the very end of that was a description of how they sought power by seeking the spirits of the Dragonborn. This is actually a story that lies behind the ring Kalea. And I forget who has that now. Is it Clean? Anyways, at the end of that story was a list of the names of 5 dragon spirits. One of them being Tirath, who was called the Red and the Gold, which is a rather similar name to Tavrith. You think there might be some link there also to the Dragonborn spirit that's in Halale. So thinking back to the same story, there were 4 other dragons also listed. And here is a relevant excerpt.
Hey, to be clear, you keep saying dragonborn spirits. You mean dragon spirits?
I mean dragon spirits. My apologies. I meant dragon every single time. And so this is listed as the name of the dragon spirit. And then there was also this tantalizing little bit at the end that suggested a key to unlocking the potential of the spirits. And for this one, it simply said this, and the second word should be in italics, basically representing some kind of command word in another language. Oh, I actually got the formatting to work. I will say you are not at all confident that, uttering that word will actually do anything here. That this connects in any direct way. But when we're thinking of sort of dragon ancestors of great significance, this little tale comes to mind.
So, come over to where quiz. What?
I was saying all that for an 11. But also, Grain was doing some investigating too.
Where were you? Oh, just.
It was 2 dead ends. He wants to see if they're really dead ends. Is there any magic?
There are little patches of abjuration magic down there.
I will say to the others, hey guys, there's some dead ends down there with some abjuration. Seems pretty cool.
I haven't had the best luck with abjuration today.
So Fallon says to Quiz, that damn table, it wasn't even. Who makes a table like that? This dragon's nice. The snake people, they used to. He wasn't with us for all that, right?
No.
What do you know about snake people?
I'm sorry, you cut out and it sounded like you said something else.
Night people?
Snake.
Night?
What do you know about snake people?
Oh, okay. Have I encountered snake people, Casey? I don't believe so.
I do not think so. If you want to roll for general knowledge, you can roll history.
No.
No,
I've never encountered them.
Well, jokes on me, mom. And Fallon said, I had a book, and yeah, they tried to get power from dragons, it seems. And there's something about unlocking potential and talking about the different dragon spirits and Cheveth Patog meant something.
Hmm.
Hey, yo, go sleep, peeps.
Let me. All right, real quick.
Roll initiative.
Now, Quiz and Kane, since both of you have magic sight going, as Fallon says that word, patog, you do see sort of a rippling in the magic about the statue as if it's reacting to that word. You don't get the sense that it's any kind of command word or that he's triggered something. More so like a kind of like a sympathetic vibration, like when you have two things next to each other that have a sort of affinity and they pick up energy from each other, that sort of thing. At any rate, Quiz, you're thinking there likely is some kind of connection here.
Batog.
I look at Fallon and I say, hold on, Fallon. Say that again. And I look at the statue real close.
Cheveth Patog.
Give
Same
me.
wiggle.
Give me. Yes.
Okay. Fallon, when you said that, the magic in the statue reacted sympathetically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot more to go on.
This could be this Patog. And what didn't you all say you were looking for dragon spirits?
I think Cheveth was the name.
Well, let's test. I look at the statue and I say Cheveth. Any wiggle?
No.
Patog.
Wiggle.
Don't think it's a name though.
Oh, it definitely likes Patog.
Sounds like a euphemism.
I feel like Cheveth is like it's like a really sad name for somebody. This is my friend Cheveth. What? Um. Well. Then Fallon says, "Okay, good." Got to it.
By the way, just to help out a little bit, I am like hinting at something with all this, but like there is not like a like this is not key to the dungeon. Like there's not like there's like some story stuff here, but not more than that.
Okay, so if
Okay.
I like touch the statue and say it, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you know, in a real situation, you might kind of experiment with it a bit, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing like that going on here.
Okay, so Fallon says, "Oh, hey, Grain, good to see you. Come over here, old friend. There's a door you should open. Over here, Grain."
I want to ask Dragonborn a question.
Wait, you want to do what?
Ask the Dragonborn a question.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. They all together float up to you in unison.
Oh god, that's creepy. Hey, Dragonverse. Who's that? I point the statue.
They spin slowly in unison to look at it, and then spin slowly in unison back to you. And Manakun says, "We do not know."
Cool. Grants open the door.
Okay. You open the door without difficulty.
This is Morgan.
I will tell you that you perceive illusion magic on this wall. And actually, you know what? That's actually kind of a poetic place to end. So we end as Kane arrives at this wall, or Grain, excuse me, arrives at this wall and sees some illusion magic. I know why that's significant. No one else in the world knows why that's significant. Hopefully nothing bad happens to me before we all get to find out. And that's where we end it.